Thank you all for gathering during this time of fear. During our service, please refer to your pamphlets for moments of congregational participation as well as the details of the service itself. And as always, feel free to comment or add interjections as you shall. And let us begin today with a reminder that this church does not worship a God or all-knowing deity, but in fact, the unstoppable and all-controlling power of the earth itself. Welcome, children, to the Church of the Damned. We are children of the damned. Those who came before us damned the earth's natural systems to their own benefit at the expense of all. We've been damned to thinking all of this as normal, as unstoppable. The Church of the Damned calls on its children to sit with this guilt, to reconsider their actions, and to speak about these injustices. Consider the power the earth has over you. Consider your own smallness. Consider your own complacency. Consider your own power, your own relationships, the way you interact with your environment every single day. Today we will begin our service with a brief sanitization ritual. You could all, one by one, come up for a spoonful of cleansing soul, which, if you are curious, is actually just aloe vera and alcohol with a couple of drops of essential oils. And now we will continue with the reading of the sacred text, the Last Judgment. In the beginning, we coexisted. We revered the earth. We took only what we needed. We left something for our offspring. But then we wanted more. So we made power from steam, then coal, then gas. In pursuit for the fastest, most powerful, cheapest methods of production, we ravaged our earth and said, we are thriving. We built, invented, and revolutionized industry. We said better, faster, more power. We never stopped to listen. Trees blackened with soot, we didn't care. Temperatures began rising, we didn't care. Wildlife disappeared, species of birds and insects vanished, we didn't care. Lung diseases and cancer spread, but industry continued, so we didn't care. We continued to build taller, expand wider, and produce bigger. We said, I am thriving because I have money. The world is beginning to burn down around us. And as our lungs erupted into flames, so we can continue this lifestyle, we say, but who needs hamburgers when you have, or but who needs trees when you have hamburgers? And as the seas start to swallow cities, we sigh and say, but who doesn't like more beaches? And as droughts dry fertile lands, and people turn to skeletons, we shrug and say, but my plate is still full. And when our lead pipes leak and lakes become deserts, we look around and say, but I have plenty of water. And when the bees died and flowers stopped blooming, we laugh and say, but who likes bee stings anyways? And when our infrastructure cracks and millions lay in hospital beds, we shout, but I am young and healthy and cannot die. And now we sit at a crossroads. We can continue life as we have known it, continue our exploitation of the earth, just so we can continue to say we are thriving because we have money. We can continue to drill, frack, drain, fertilize, and reap. We can continue to throw our hands up and wonder why so many people die of flood, fire, and famine, lack of care, water, and food. The next mass extinction is coming, and we will not survive. We don't care. Please open your pamphlets and refer to the small poem on the second page titled, Will We Rise or Sink? This is a small song. It is sung to the tune of the Itsy Bitsy Spider, but in minor key. I will sing it once for you, and then I would appreciate if you all joined me in singing the second time. Humans are just animals blinded by our greed. We ravage our own kin. We say it's what we need. Now that our faults have brought us to the brink, modernity is failing. Will we rise or sink? All right, please join. Humans are just animals blinded by our greed. We ravage our own kin. We say it's what we need. Now that our faults have brought us to the brink, modernity is failing. Will we rise or sink? Look around. We have all been complacent in the destructions of forests and wetlands, active in the burnings of fossil fuels, and ignorant of the long-term consequences of our consumer lifestyles. In this world we have been born into, these actions are rarely choices. The infrastructure our world is built in is made to do irreparable damage. Kathleen Dean Moore, an environmental philosopher and writer, said in an interview, "We do things we know are wrong every day, just because that's the way the system is set up. It is soul devouring." The world is embarking on so much in the wake of all the upheaval, and we have a chance to break this system and move forward, to rethink what forward means, to create a future where all life, not just human lives, are equally valued and respected. Humans are just animals. We need to reclaim our animalness, the inherent nature within us, and stop living the lie that we are separate from the earth, as somehow above it. We are children of the Enlightenment. We have brought the world to the brink of ruin by acting under the delusion that humans are separate from the earth, somehow in control of it. Again, Kathleen Dean Moore in If Your House is on Fire. The onset of our devastation began when people started to see themselves as above nature, no longer a part of it. Control over partnership, domination over protection. And of course, this onslaught of domination spread into the colonization of the earth and its peoples. These things are irreparably connected. It cannot be forgotten that climate change is a form of aggression. Those most affected by rising oceans, devastating crop loss, and insufferable heat will overwhelmingly not be those of us living in wealthy communities and countries, those of us that have perpetrated the wasteful lifestyles that have led to such suffering. Moore reminds us that climate change is poised to be the most massive human rights violations the world has ever seen. So what then? What is our responsibility? To each other, to the earth. Humanity is not what is family. We have existed long without such widespread devastation. And the correlation is not obscured. They stare us deep in our soul. Consumerism and capitalism have driven us so far from nature. They have driven us to extreme exploitation of our kin, human and otherwise. Perhaps our largest responsibility then is to reject capitalism. Moving forward is not home food delivery services, but public community gardens and accessibility to growing your own food. Moving forward is not chasing the fastest or cheapest ways of doing something. It is choosing to do the most thoughtful and responsible ways of doing something. Moving forward is not giving up, but putting all we have into what we know the earth can be. Our responsibility to nature is to become a part of it again. The Blue River Declaration, a discussion of how we should live, writes of this shift into ecological, ethical living by saying, it calls into question our current capitalist economic systems, our educational systems, our food production systems, our systems of land use and ownership. It calls us to re-examine what it means to be happy and what it means to be smart. This will not be easy. We need to reclaim ourselves from these systems in whatever small ways we can. We need to work together. We all know that individual actions alone will not make the changes we need. It takes enormous cooperation and growth to break down these systems. So band together, chip away at what you can, protest, make noise, create, dissent, say no, and most importantly, think about every action that you make. And as you move forward, remember that dedication to the earth is dedication to all life. It is inherently anti-colonialist and anti-capitalist. Thus, being committed to the earth is being committed to becoming anti-colonialist, anti-racist, anti-capitalist in your everyday life. I would like to close with one more quote from the Blue River Declaration. Given that all life on Earth is resilient, humanity can take courage in Earth's power to heal. Equality and justice are necessary conditions for civilizations that endure, and truth-telling has strong regenerative powers. Virtues we can embody are human courage, creative imagination, and perseverance in the face of long odds. Now, today, as we finish our service, I would like you to all come up again one by one and reflect on what you have heard today. And as you take these seeds, think about the kind of promise that you can make to yourself, to the community around you, to your earth, to your kin. I truly hope this experience has helped you find courage and strength from our deep collective grief and guilt. As you move forward from here and reconnect to your own nature, your own animalness, your own kin, and be just a little bit better every day. This ends our service for today. I hope you all go forth and break down your own dams. And thank you all so much for coming. If you want to stay for a second and look closer at any of the art, please feel free. If you were curious about any of the material that I read when I was writing this and things I was referencing, it's all in the back of your pamphlets.